Hey guys, Yiming here. I'm going to show you how custom workflows for CallCow. Here we have a custom workflow that we have with one of our partners. And this is basically a meta ads workflow where the customer will fill in a form via a meta ad and we'll trigger this workflow which calls the customer. So you can see here we got a bunch of states and a bunch of transition conditions for these states. The reason why we're doing this state machine approach is because we found that if you have anything custom and you just post a paragraph, the AI does not do a good job of following what the steps are, and it also increases the cost because you have a lot more context that the AI has to deal with. So on every custom workflow, we have a introduction as well as kind of a end call function. And for introduction, you can see here that it basically says the prompt is like, hey, this is introduction, and then some of the kind of the prompts here, transition to the next state after user response, don't attribute action when transition state. And then you have some transitions where the user is going to respond and the AI is going to infer or try to match any of these conditions. Let's go to the discovery. Basically, the user agrees and interested to learn more. And then you say that, you explain that I'm just calling to book a 15-minute consultation this week or next week. This is just to set up with the company founders to know more so they can understand your use case. And then, of course, this will transition to the next step as well. And here is we're kind of building a script where you have different conditions and you can go to different parts of the script. And of course, this doesn't have to be just like saying one thing and then going to the next step. You could have a few kind of exchanges here. And then for each node, there is going to be tools. So if you look at if the user, let's go to here. If the user wants to book a meeting, what happens here is that we have a CallCow integration right here. So the CallCow integration will give the agent tools to look for available slots as well as book meetings. So if you look at here, what it says is it just checks the availability and offers 3 random slots, and of course the time zones, and make sure to look up the availability tool to get some available slots. Do not use given slots on the weekends, and then do not offer days in the past. Of course, this is kind of a pre-built prompt we've used internally, but you could adjust the behavior of the agent. We have the confirm meeting, and then we can hang up afterwards. And then after you hang up, we could also have a kind of after workflow integration. So for example, if you want a text to be sent to your phone number for the summary or an email, you could add here that I want an email summary or a text summary, and then it will show up here, and you can add this one. So how should we think about making our own custom workflows? Because this is probably a lot to take in. So to start, we suggest you create a workflow and then you select one of these templates. Of course, we're gonna have more templates. So if you have kind of a common use case, we would love to build it for you. But let's say if I want to schedule meetings, if my goal is to schedule meetings. So I will go here, I will do, let's just create one. And then go and edit and then convert to custom workflow. Now you have all the kind of the pre-built workflows here, and now you can start changing it. For example, we have a case where the user says I don't remember filling in the form. You could do it doesn't remember, and then it could also, for here, you could add a tool to check for more information about the user, and then add more transitions on what kind of information there is. And then when you are playing around and testing this, we have this convenient run in browser function, which once you update this, you can run this in browser, and then you can test out the workflow and the agent. You can also edit metadata. For example, you can add call context as well as a task, and you can have extra instructions such as keep the conversation brief, and then you can also have tones as well, and then of course voices and call transfers. And for all our workflows, we have a setting where the user will have to speak first. They will say like, hello, who is this? Before the AI can start speaking. You can also turn this on if you want the AI to speak first. But from our testing, we find that the better experience is for the human to speak first. And this is just for debugging, copy workflow JSON. So if you have any questions, you can contact support and you can copy the JSON and we can try to figure out what is going on. Cool. That concludes kind of a brief overview of how custom workflow works. As always, you could feel free to book a meeting with me with the schedule link, and then I would love to help you kind of go through and build another and I'd love to help understand your custom use case and maybe even go through it and build a custom workflow template just for you. Cool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.